morning, guys. Quick announcements. Yesterday I posted a video with a giveaway that I'm going to do the drawing for today at 2:22 p.m. Central Time. It's for these unicorn affirmators cards where you can magically unlock the power of the universe, kind of. It says that. But they're just kind of like, there's a card here: clarity, ideal partnership, letting go, good things to come, worthiness, and kind of just little messages about that. I like these cards, and I'll pull a couple today just so that you guys get a feeling of those. But it's for the unicorn affirmators and the Dragon's Dream Astral Travel Tea, which right now I don't have any individually for sale. They're only in the Black Magic Spellwork Protection bundles. So you can get and try the Astral Travel Tea as well. So I'll pull those today, but enter if you haven't already. And I appreciate everyone who already has. Then, if you're in the US, today is voting day. So, I know voting can be a little bit 3D matrixy, and, a lot of people feel like it doesn't really matter, and I don't know. But, out of principle, the thing is that I have strong feelings, as anyone who knows me knows, but about marijuana and the war on drugs in this company, it might as well be country, in particular, because that was a complete fabrication, basically, to eliminate the influence of, the anti-war movement, like in late 60s, 70s, as well as the civil rights movement. The government wanted to diminish the sovereign nature of those movements, and so they targeted essentially hippies and Black people in this country. And I mean, how many millions of African American and primarily, right, people ended up in prison, and convicted felons permanently losing their voting rights, by the way, which I think is atrocious. I don't think that should happen. Even if you're like a full-on serial murderer sitting in jail, I think you should still get to vote. But again, the impetus, I believe, behind that was to strip the voting rights of Black people in this country. So, even if you don't have you feel like it's kind of matrixy and it doesn't matter, and I do kind of feel Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter, that that's only the impression about giving us a choice. But still, it's wrong to strip voting rights of anybody in this country, and I don't think anybody should be in prison for non-violent drug-related offenses. I think we should be focusing on therapeutic resources and recovery, and support. But, and lots of other countries do it that way, but we don't, because this country makes a ton of money off of the prison industry. So go out and vote like someone who can't vote today. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's get into your reading. The eclipse energies have been tough lately, you guys. So let's have a positive reading, universe. Let's have a really nice positive reading. Strength. 8 of Pentacles, King of Cups, 5 of Wands, the Hierophant, the 10 of Wands in reverse. That's good. If you see the 10 of Wands, it's nice when it comes in reverse, right? 8 of Swords. 3 of Swords. We are really riding this train. We've had these, and I'm not saying it necessarily is, but Well, let's just get into the reading. So there's the Strength card clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about kind of like quietly building, working. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into it. Yeah, so it's about working. And you haven't seen kind of like the accolades or rewards come from that work yet. But you're still quietly and steadily working, and that's clarifying the Strength card, which is a card about having courage, and compassion and strength. And what I get is that there's an energy of somebody trying to quietly and steadily work on gathering their strength and courage. Then we've got the King of Cups, which can be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but you know, it can also be rising moon or a lot of water in their chart. But I think this is the person showing up in the reading. And they're being clarified by the Five of Wands. And what I'm seeing is that this is both an internal battle as well as probably in this person's environment, there's a lot of conflict. This person has a lot of conflict at the moment, but they are trying to working on gathering their strength towards something. What is that something? It shows the Hierophant, which is a card about institutions, hierarchy. It can also be about marriage, but it's kind of like traditional structures. And the Ten of Wands in reverse is about dropping burdens. So what this card is telling me is that this person is in a space where they are challenging their all of their traditionally inherited information. Does that make sense how I said that? I know that was a weird way to say it, but basically they are challenging their kind of the framework and standards and norms of like their culture, their environment, their family. I feel like they're dropping the burdens that you know these structures have placed on this person, maybe about who they are, how they should live, you know, who they should love, whatever the case may be. There's expectations that have been on this person that have been burdening them. And they've been working on this strength and courage to walk away from these hierarchical and traditional standards that have been set for them. Then it shows the Eight of Swords, which is a trapped, like a mentally trapped, like being stuck in your head energy. And that's clarified by the Three of Swords. And so that to me is indicating like a heartbreak in the past. Could be regarding a third party situation. It doesn't have to be, but basically about, you know, they're stuck in their head about some past heartbreak. So let's ask, what deck do I want to use? Let's ask about this. What is this heartbreak? Oh my goodness. Eight of Swords came out again. So they're really, really stuck in their head. Okay. So the heartbreak has to do with the Queen of Swords. Let me get a little bit more on that. Okay, so it's a Queen of Swords, and in the past, there was a building phase with this person. You know, a Three of Pentacles is about building a foundation. It's the early stages though. So this may have been kind of like dating, talking stages, you know, but early, you know what I mean? So you had some kind of connection with this person, or they had some kind of connection where it kind of didn't get off the ground, you know what I mean? And there was a walking away. And now then the Nine of Pentacles is showing that this person is now single. Okay. Oops. So let's ask, because there's these family issues are connected here. There's a focus about this relationship, but it talks about these family issues. It talks about this conflict. You know what? I'm gonna ask, what does this person intend on doing? King of Wands. The Sun. Six of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Wow. The High Priestess. Three of Swords. There it is again, the heartbreak. So this Queen of Swords, so that can potentially be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. But they're also showing up as a High Priestess, which is, tarot readers often come up as a High Priestess, but it's somebody with, a strong connection to the spirit world or to their intuition, kind of people who know, have a sense of what's coming before it comes. They have access to the secrets of the universe. There's the Strength again. Let's get one more. Wow, the Emperor. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I asked what they wanted to do here, and it shows the King of Wands, that's the sexy king, y'all. So that's that's fire energy. That's someone who is very passionate, but still, the King of Wands is like a more mature energy. They can kind of lose their cool at times, but for the most part, it's somebody that just has a lot of passion in terms of the way that they act and the way that they communicate. Again, not the best communicator, but still, ooh, why is the Two of Swords up in there? That's weird. Ooh, okay. But then that's clarifying the Sun, the Sun is clarifying that. I get the sense that, so this person, they're looking towards their happiness right now, which, I believe is this, again, Queen of Swords, High Priestess, and Queen of Cups energy. So I wouldn't, in terms of the Divine Feminine in this, I wouldn't pay too much attention to the signs, because, a lot of signs are out. And same for, we've got water and fire energy here for this masculine at the moment. But then we've got the Six of Pentacles clarified by the Ace of Swords. The Six of Pentacles is about equal give and take. And the Ace of Swords is about truth. That's about, offering like the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So I get the sense that's what this person wants to come in and offer is truth. Is, and not only like offer it once, but offer it in like a reciprocal and balanced way. Essentially, like to come in with the truth, to set like a foundation of of honesty and truth. And the High Priestess clarified by the Three of Swords. Again, I think this is the person in the past that there was heartbreak with. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is about holding on, not letting go. And that's clarified by Strength. And this person, they do want to hold on to this situation. They want to hold on to this person. They don't want to let go. And I think that they also see you, on some level as being, your character with that Strength card of being a gentle and compassionate, nurturing person. Then we have the Emperor clarified by the Queen of Cups. And so, you know, this person wants to come in as an emperor, in that, you know, calm, balanced, mature energy, that kind of leader energy. Again, not controlling, but a leader, like giving people the, you know, kind of emotional space to feel comfortable, supported, strong. And they want to do that towards this Queen of Cups. Again, I think this is all the same person. High Priestess, Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. And this Knight of Pentacles. I think that's all the same person. Okay, so you know what I'm going to ask? I want to ask, what challenges is this person going to encounter doing this? Ten of Cups. Six of Swords. The World. Ace of Cups. The Emperor. Again. Emperor. That's nuts. Where's the Empress, huh? Ace of Wands. The Hanged Man. Okay, so I asked what challenges are they going to encounter? And we've got the Ten of Cups and the Six of Swords. So, you know, the sense that I'm getting in this is Ten of Cups, there was a tremendous amount of love between these people in the past. You know, I just get the sense that whenever these people were together, that, you know, that they always just felt like a lot of love towards each other. But, you know, there's a moving away. There was a moving away from that. And again, you know, I don't know exactly what happened here in the past. Let me try and see. We did see the Three of Swords twice, right? So perhaps there was a third party. Page of Wands, Two of Wands, Ace of Swords. King of Cups. Yeah, so there was juggling. There was indecisiveness. There was juggling. I think that there was a truth had come out. And again, I think that links back to this third party situation about this juggling. So there was a moving away, and that cycle was closed. The cycle was closed out between these two people. And so Ace of Cups clarifying though is that, you know, this masculine energy does want to have a new start in love here. So, you know, where did this come out? This Five of Wands, just like this. Yeah. Okay. So the King of Cups was clarified by the Five of Wands. So I think this is the challenge here. Is not only their internal conflict, but again, when this card came out here, I said I felt like there was a lot of conflict in this masculine's environment as well. And so that's saying what part of the challenge is that, you know, it's hard to basically, like, whenever we're trying to manifest something, the worst thing that you can do is, you know, be focusing on like 7 different things when you're trying to manifest one thing. I mean, none of us get to live a life of luxury where we can just focus on one thing all day, every day, right? That's not reality. But what it's saying is that all of this conflict that is surrounding this emperor is really going to delay him and hold him back from this focus, because he's going to have to expend so much energy. And here it is, you know, it shows this Ace of Wands clarified by the Hangman, that essentially, like, you know, Ace of Wands is like a passionate new start. And with the first card out here was this King of Wands. That's the energy that he wants to hold, is like this passionate new start. But, you know, and again, this is based in love. But, you know, this person also wants passion. But what it's saying, with clarified by the Hangman, is that all of that essentially negative energy you know, with this conflict in his environment, as well as, again, internal conflict. But, you know, you can't, we all have internal conflict, right? We're, you know, we'll that's kind of like a process of how you go through and evaluating anything in your life, is that, is you kind of go and look at the pros and cons of it, and you know, you kind of juggle in your mind for a bit before making a decision. But what it's saying is that this conflict in this masculine's environment is going to keep them stuck for a long time. You know, he's on this particular hangman, he's on a clock. He is on a clock. He's hung on a clock. And so that's what it's saying, is that it's what's on his hat? In this style, 10-6. That may be a message for someone. I don't know. In this style, 10-6. But yeah, what it's saying is that that's just until this masculine separates from all of this conflict in their environment, they are going to remain in a stuck energy. It's that conflict. And where is that conflict coming from? What is that conflict around this masculine about? Because we've seen that twice. Oh my God, hangman again. Look at that. The devil. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. Okay, well, so what I'm getting is that, yeah, there's just a ton of people around this masculine, and they all have different advice, perspectives, and it also shows, you know, the devil popped up too. There's also people that are interested in controlling this masculine, and people that are they themselves toxic. And so they're going to be giving toxic advice to this masculine too. There's people that are basically just wanting to have victory over this masculine. There are people who are slow walking him. There are people who are rushing him. Oh my God, that's, yeah. Knight of Pentacles again. 5 of Cups. Like, yeah. Okay. There's just a shit ton of people that are that are giving such massively conflicting advice, like pressuring this person, criticizing this person, telling this person, I mean, like literally, you know how, like, I mean, it, you know, if you had 100 people in a room, you'd get 100 different opinions. And that's this situation, is like everybody is wants to, and I don't even know that this masculine has asked for any advice. You know, I don't know, maybe they have, but there are certainly people offering, telling, trying to persuade, manipulate, you know, I mean, everything. There's every kind of person in this masculine's environment, creating conflict for them right now. I also don't love, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Star, which is healing, 2 of Cups, Death, Temperance, Fool, Page of Cups. So this person, they really wanted, I mean, they want to come in and offer reconciliation and heal with their twin flame. They want to put like an end to everything that happened in the past, and to start building, moving forward, take a leap of faith. You know, but again, then we see the 7 of Wands. This person is being attacked from everywhere right now, which is leaving them in this really stuck energy. You know, this Hanged Man energy, this 4 of Cups energy, this 8 of Swords energy. The 8 of Swords came out twice. The Hanged Man came out twice. We're just seeing a ton of that. yet all they're kind of just mentally holding on to the fact that their twin flame even exists. This really does. I mean, we've seen a lot of energies about these divine masculines awakening, and some potentially being in their dark night of the soul. I feel like that is what this masculine is experiencing. So let's get some advice and guidance for this masculine in this situation. If you're in a situation where you just have you don't know the right thing to do, or maybe you want something or whatever, but everybody is around you whispering in your ear, filling your head, saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, or you should do that, or, oh, why are you even bothered with this? Here, do this, like, and this feels very much to me like a test from the universe of challenging this person to be still, to go within, to connect with their higher self and their inner voice, and to decide what's best for them. But I understand this is difficult, because especially if you have family members that are trying to tell you, to do stuff or whatever, that's really hard, because, especially like when it comes to parents, because we want to trust that our parents are giving us good advice and wouldn't lead us astray. But if, like, again, everybody's my pops, my stepdad, who's really like my real dad. He's an amazing man. But anyway, he's a lawyer, and he always, people pay for his advice every day, right? And he's given me some really, really epic advice, especially as when I was a young adult and as an adult. But every time he would give me some amazing piece of advice, he would say, but advice is usually worth what you pay for it. And in this case, that's nothing. And it was always his kind way of saying, like, I gave you my advice, but you can do whatever you feel is right. But also, I knew that he was the best person to give me that advice, because he never pushed it on me. It's only people who really push on you to force a decision. Essentially, never listen to those people. If people are trying to really pressure you into doing something, they don't have your best interest in mind. They have their best interest in mind. If someone has your best interest in mind, what they'll do is they'll share advice, they'll share experience, and then they'll say, I'll support you no matter what you do, or something along those lines. That's how you know someone is giving you good advice, is if they have no attachment to the outcome. So, Great Awakening, walk in your truth, stand firm in your life. How can you trust yourself more? That's exactly this message. I think this reinforces that this person has been going through an awakening. They probably are at the dark night of the soul, but this is a challenge and a test from the universe, asking you to decide for yourself. And again, this very much reminds me of like my, when I was in Peru and I did the ayahuasca experience, and, and that second night when, oh gosh, it was just it was a very, 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 very challenging vision. But when I came through the end of it with all of my realizations, I remember, I sat there and I was like, oh, who am I going to tell? Who am I going to tell about this? Do I tell my therapist? Do I tell my mom? Do I tell my best friend? And, I sat there with myself because, I kind of couldn't decide. And then when I realized, and because ayahuasca was still talking to me, she said, nobody's going to help you. You have to do this on your own. And the reality of it for me is that even though I was a strong-willed and independent person, having a narcissistic father, I still on fundamental levels that I hadn't dug into yet, that I still wanted someone to tell me when I made a decision that it was right. I was still seeking that like validation or approval from external sources. And what ayahuasca was trying to teach me is that I am the only person who can answer what is right for me. And so that's the message that I want to share, with you guys. When peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. How can you see through the eyes of source energy and prioritize your inner peace? So, there's really a call for this person to remove themselves as much as possible from the negative energies around them, but also to look at them with, kind of the compassion and understanding that, even if someone is trying to tell you to do something, pressure you to do something, whatever the case may be, even though, it very likely is having to do a lot more with them and what's good for them than what's good for you, to understand that they are coming from, everybody interacts from the level that they're at, right? Their level of understanding, their level of how they see the world and their own trauma. And when people haven't resolved that or gone through that, that's going to shift any kind of advice that they give anyone else. If someone's been hurt a lot, and then they're going to give advice and guidance basically saying, oh yeah, don't do that because you don't want to get hurt, right? But that's not the way to live, in fear that you're going to get hurt, because we all do. That's essentially like the human experience is getting hurt. So, it's a call to like try and remove yourself. Basically, you have peace when you remove yourself from other people's opinions and other people's negative energies. And understand that you can hear an opinion without internalizing that. You can look at it from a space of detachment and say, like, I understand why that person feels that way or why they have that perspective, but that's also not my perspective or my frame of reference, right? Let's get to, actually, I want to pull this, and then we'll pull some of the unicorn cards. Virgo. I'm a Virgo. Integrity, reverence, service. Yeah, to have integrity with yourself about what you really want. Right? This King of Cups really wants this, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, High Priestess, whatever. He wants this person, but he's, I get the feeling that he's really struggling to kind of arrive, even though he knows on a level what he wants. He's just stuck listening to everybody else right now. And I think a lot of this does have to do with family, by the way, family and community, because that Hierophant was out there. House 11, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. So if you are this person and you're struggling with a lot of conflict and negativity in your environment, what it's asking you to do is to start realigning, essentially to build connections with people who, so if you've gone through an awakening and nobody else in your environment has gone through that, you really do need to start connecting with other people. And I understand that as an adult, it's not the easiest thing to go make friends. Though, again, when I went to, to the mine and I was in that tailing section, when I first met those people, because, I asked something, a little question, and I said, hi, my name is Laura, and I said, I'm a witch. And it was so funny because like the guy, he was like, oh, and gasped and pointed at his wife, and she goes, and she gasped and waved. She's like, I'm a witch too. And so I've been a little bit bolder in terms of like, as an adult, I ask other adults, just like when I was a kid, like when you were in the sandbox and you're building your little sandcastle, and then somebody comes over and they're building theirs. You're like, hey, I really like your sandcastle. Want to be friends? Like, we can just do that actually as adults now too. I feel like because it is so hard to make friends and everybody struggles with that, but also online communities are great for this as well. There's a community online for everything, so, and even here on YouTube, that's a community, but connect with communities, maybe start adding pages on like Instagram or Twitter or, whatever, but start feeding like influences from the group that essentially you are in now, not your past group, because that's what's happening is this person has awakened and they're leveling up. but they're surrounded by people that are going to keep trying to drag them back down to their level of perspective. Again, like, you know, in my painting here, Ascent, that's specifically what the seaweed is about for me, is that when, you know, when you are ascending, when you are awakening, and when you are ascending, there are always elements that are going to try and pull you back. They are going to try and create doubt for you. They're going to try and create fear for you. But I, you know, and I think on some level, conscious or not, they just don't want you to ascend. They don't want, because they're not ready to do it. They're scared to do it. And so they don't want to see other people doing the things that they're afraid to do, you know? So remember that there are always seaweeds in this journey. There's always seaweed. There's always going to be, you know, people or things or elements that are trying to hold you back. So be cognizant that those elements exist, and it sucks because sometimes they're our family. Sometimes they're our friends that we've known for like our whole lives. But you know, and that's a painful process. Again, it's Scorpio season. But you know, anytime you're leveling up, you're going to have to shed a lot from the past. You can't keep these energies with you as you go to the next level. Okay. Right. Let's get some of these unicorn affirmators. We'll see how it goes. Trust. I trust that everything will be okay in the end, partly because I simply know it in my gut, but also believe it's way more fun to live with trust and confidence than to be a defensive wiener. And there's a bear that's walking on this little high wire with a mouse and over sharks. And so, you know, the bear bears are about standing up, basically standing in your truth, defending what is right. And on his little balancing pole, he has a mouse. And mice are about being timid, fear, you know, and so basically this bear is doing what is right in his integrity for him, and he's carrying his fear along with it. And he's saying, like, even though I'm scared to be blindfolded and walking this rope, I trust, I have faith that everything is going to be okay as long as I keep putting one foot in front of the other. Courage. And again, we saw the strength come out, right? That was the first card out. No one is fearless. No one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to that fear and kick it in the nuts, and then quickly hide behind someone bigger until it goes away. And yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, a lot of times we see other people doing these brave or courageous things, and we're like, wow, you know, and I've always had people ask me, you know, I've always been a very independent person. I've traveled like all over the world by myself. And people are like, aren't you scared to do that? And no, I mean, not at a certain point, because I've gone through so many experiences that have built my trust in myself. But having courage doesn't mean not being afraid. I mean, we saw it in this card, right? Is that he's got his fear with him. He's taking it with him, but he is bigger than his fear. He's bigger than his fear, right? And we see this mouse in the same, the exact same mouse, right? And so what courage is about is not being afraid. It's about being afraid and doing it anyway. That's what courage is. It's being afraid and doing it anyway. I like these cards. Let's get one more. I think what I'm probably going to do, by the way, is I will give someone the Dragon Stream and the Affirmators, but I accidentally bought 6 decks of these cards. So I'll probably give prizes to more than one person. Good things to come. Okay, and so what it's saying is if you trust yourself, and you start taking those steps, be brave, walk in courage, right? That good things are to come. Good things are coming. There are so many amazing gifts coming my way. I can't see them now because I respect the general convention of not peeking under the wrapping paper. but they will show up when the time is just right. And that's when I'll remember how much fun it is to be surprised. Okay. So it's saying that you're going to make it through this situation. You're going to be able to do this. But even if you don't see what is up ahead, just know that's where faith comes in, is knowing that good things are coming for you. Again, just like I said, like when I went to the mine, and the truck, the tour for the mine was leaving. I missed the tour, right? I knew good things were coming to me. And I went in with that mindset and I dug in the mud, and sure enough, and I couldn't have imagined finding anything like this. And that's the kind of faith that you need to walk in, is you have no idea what's coming, but you know it's good. You know that what is coming is good. I'm going to do one more. I know I always do that, guys, but I do like these cards. I'm loving these messages. Inspiration. There is a voice of inspiration within me. Right now, it's only a whisper, but the more I listen, the louder it will get. Soon, it will be a flawless speech, voiced by James Earl Jones through a megaphone with lots of applause. And I think that's what this person has been struggling to connect to, their own inner voice and inspiration, right? Because that does take practice. That's not something that comes easily or naturally for everyone, because our entire lives we've always been told, to do things this way. Like you're guided your entire life for better or worse. But then you get to a point where at some point in your life, and I know that was for me, like when I came down here, I've always had like mentors at jobs and stuff like that. And then I came down here and there was, it was difficult because I don't know how to put this exactly, but essentially, if, kind of from like a leadership perspective, I didn't see a lot of people that had more experience or sort of strength in terms of integrity than I did, right? And so who is my mentor now? I had to become my mentor. And that's a very, very difficult transition. And I think we all have to do it at some point in our adult lives, where we actually learn to trust and rely on ourselves, to listen to our own inner voice, to have the strength and courage to walk with commitment to ourselves. But again, good things come from that. So this person does need to practice taking the time, to sit quietly and listen to themselves, not from this trapped energy of like, what could go wrong, but like asking themselves what they really want. What do I really want? What does it look like? What am I willing to do for it? Right? So yeah, sit with that. I love these cards. So yeah, whoever gets these, I'm excited for you guys, because I think this is fun. But anyway, I think we're going to leave it at that. I hope you guys, found something good in this message. If it did resonate for you, I know this was, again, more about this divine masculine, but we do have a lot of divine masculines on this channel as well. So I hope that that's helpful for you guys. Again, if you're interested in getting a personal reading, because this is a general reading, I am open for that. Reach out to me by email or book straight through on my Etsy shop. Both are in the description box. And yeah, if this resonated, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, it helps me build my channel, and I really appreciate it. Everybody's been commenting a lot lately, and I really love it. I love to see your guys' comments and that this, resonated for you. Okay. Thank you guys. Enjoy your eclipse and the full moon tonight. I hope everybody takes some time to vote today and some time to look at the moon tonight. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a good one.